Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of iCast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. I'm Thomas, your DM, for this adventure, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcone,
Maximus Shuns,
Ataraxia Kalian,
and Buster Bilgewater.
Grief. It's all around us. It's present. But the crew of the Satyr's Song is working through it. One sentence at a time, one memory at a time, one crewmate at a time. They are working through it as they mourn Glenn and as they find their own ways to take on the responsibilities they still have to do with Knuckles, Inkskin, Tidewater Rock, Lady Smythe. Tremendous amount of work still yet to be done. And that is where we jump in on this week's adventure of iCast Fireball. So, Captain's Council. You were all brought in to the captain.
Hey, listen, we're on our way to the rock. What's going on, guys? We got things to get done.
Well, yeah, we're gonna stop at the rock, but then we gotta do stuff after that, right? Am I right? So here's the thing, folks. We are among the free captains of the Shackles. We have a boat. We have a sea. We can go wherever we want. Like, there's not anything stopping us from pursuing our goals. So, here's the thing. I have a goal that I want to pursue. Hi, I'm Ataraxia. My mom left when I was a child to try and overcome my curse, and I haven't ever seen her in memory. So, I think we should go find my mom. Now, here's the thing, though. After we find my mom, we're going to have to do something else, right? So that's where all of you come in. So, I mean, you all must want something, right? What do you guys want to do?
Did he drink something? He's gonna look at the others, looking around. He's looking around for a bottle. Look, I know grief hits everybody different, and you're feeling it very differently. But, I mean, I haven't thought past tomorrow yet, Captain. Any day yet. So goals is a bit of a heavy subject. Right now, my goal is make sure we can take the rock and secure it. And I don't know, I actually think maybe there's a few crew members I could start teaching navigation to. The loss of Glenn's got me thinking that we have some unequipped people aboard, and maybe we should equip them. So I don't know, maybe if we can take the rock and get some moments of peace, I think I would like a breather. That would be my goal before we do anything else.
Booyah, that is some forward thinking right there. I will let all of you have a moment to sit with your feelings and to think about what you want in the near-ish future and to start planning for the rock. That's obviously our next step in the process here. But after that, like I said, when I initially left Absalom in the first place, my goal was to find my mother, and there's nothing stopping us at this point from doing that. So I would like to try and do that.
and how exactly do you propose us to do that?
Well, we're going to need to gather some information for sure. Let me give you all some context so we can understand a little bit about what's going on. So, my mom is a human, and she was just living in Absalom, working on the docks there, and she would meet a whole bunch of people. There was one guy that she was even going to marry at one point, but when my older sister was born, he jumped the coop, and none of us have ever met him. None of us even know his name. Here's where things start getting tricky. My sister, when she was born, she couldn't move her legs. She was in a lot of pain, and my mom was really, really affected by that. And she kind of closed her heart for a while. And, this is all, what I've been told by, the people who were there while I was growing up. And she kind of closed off her heart, but then one day, hey, a satyr shows up, and what do satyrs do? I mean, it's kind of a stereotype, but my father apparently was one of the guys who upheld that, sang a song to my mom, ran away, and the next thing my mom knew, she was going to be having a little satyr boy. So she didn't want me to end up with pain like my sister did, so she decided to do some praying. She was like, okay, this child is going to be a fey creature. Maybe I should reach out to the fey beings, and prayed that I could be spared from pain. And that's what we got. I have been spared from pain in that regard. But when my mom realized that it was actually more of a curse than a blessing, she decided that she wanted to see if she could try and fix it. So she went off. I mean, she was an adventurer in her younger days, so she's a capable person. So she decided to go off and try and find the fey beings that cursed me and see if they could get it reversed, and never came back. So, yeah, that's the situation. I would like to try and find my mom. It would be really cool if we could make sure that she's okay. If we could get my curse removed, that would also be cool. So yeah, that's the context for kind of what we're going into. So we're going to be dealing with fey kind of stuff. That's part of what we'll want to look at in our information gathering, etc., etc. That was a lot. How are you all feeling?
Great.
I imagine everybody's hair is just kind of like blown backwards. Like there's just this stream of air just.
Max is just smiling the whole time, like,
Okay. Buster looks at Ignis. What is she doing?
Ignis has her arms folded as she was listening to his story, and she has a thinly veiled look of
intolerance.
no.
Disgust.
This guy.
Feather.
No, she doesn't believe him.
Skepticism.
That's a great one. So Ignis is standing there with her arms folded with a thinly veiled look of skepticism, not because she thinks that Ataraxia is necessarily lying, but there is an element that she doesn't believe that's the whole truth, or that that's the whole story. Partially because why would he just tell us his whole backstory? But also there's an element of Ignis that does not believe that Ataraxia is 13. I think that she does believe that he is cursed to believe that, or that's part of his curse, that he believes that. And so she's just kind of looking at him. So, how old were you when she left you at the orphanage?
I was 1.
So you don't remember her face or anything?
Well, I remember her name. That would probably be useful. As we're trying to find her, it would be useful for everybody to know her name. Her name is Ataraxia Vardos. As we're trying to locate her, that will be helpful for you all to know.
Right.
And the people at the orphanage knew your mother?
Yeah.
Where's your sister?
Oh, she's still back in Absalom. She got an apprenticeship with a haberdasher, and she is living on their property. It's a pretty wealthy merchant, so she's taken care of for all of her physical temporal needs. And I mean, she was kind of sad when I left, but she's being taken care of.
Right. So I'm gonna go back to the helm.
Cool.
Happy to pick this back up if and when we have taken the rock.
All right. You go get some rest. We've all been through a lot today. It's been a wild time. Holy cow. This morning, we were at the Tidewater Rock, weren't we?
Yes.
Also, quickly, if we're going to the rock, which we are, we should probably solidify our alliance with Lady Smythe, who is still currently tied up.
And are we taking Knuckles and his crew?
They're following us already.
They're following us?
They're
right.
following,
Okay.
yes.
Just wanted to be clear.
They are bolstering the image, the power, the force of the alliance that we have made.
And the claim that we have that we have broken the rock. On the point of solidifying things, Captain, we are half a day away from the rock at this point.
About maybe 8 hours.
Yeah. The crew were very bolstered by our ceremony for Glenn. and all that, but it's still a dour mood across the whole crew. Very somber, not a good vibe for taking over a armament. We need inspiration and vigor and a sense that we can do this. I don't know how to do that, but I feel like you're good at that. So I think being in here by yourself and thinking about family is nice, but I don't know that this is the time yet.
Okay.
I think we need to be about our business and get this huge island-sized loose end taken care of.
All right. We have a lot of stuff that we are going to get to eventually. We have one thing that we're going to focus on right now. But in the meantime, my order to all of you is to interrogate your deepest wants and desires and come back to me to let me know what you want us to do with the ship.
Oh, the only order Ignis might disobey.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Right.
Ignis, what do you want? She's shouting at herself.
I don't know what I want.
Buster taps his head and says, "You got it, Captain." And then he leaves.
All right.
Ignis turns on her heel and follows him out. She has nothing to say.
Oh, right before Buster leaves, Max is going to say, "It might be more appropriate to put Tim's ballad on this wall." And he points to the wall covered in paper.
But Tim's already dead.
Oh, I didn't think that through. Are we just going to leave every paper on the mast? Or do we, bring it back to the... I haven't thought that through.
Buster makes sure that you have the paper and says, "I think that's a really important problem to solve, Max." And then he leaves.
I do.
He's gone.
I do.
Buster's gone.
Where'd you go?
Oh.
No. Okay.
As each of you are forced to face yourself in a mirror, so to speak, face your own emotions, to discover what you really want and what you really need. Ataraxia, I imagine you go see Lady Smythe to hammer out the details, eh?
Yeah, on the way there, though, I'm going to rush my way down to the kitchen and talk with our good old friend Ambrose Fishguts Croup, because I know that one of the best ways to improve morale on a ship is with a good meal. So I'm going to commiserate with him, and this time I'm not going to tell him what he's going to cook. I'm just going to tell him, you cook what you want, but just make sure that you give it a little extra oomph.
Yeah, and he takes the cigar that's in his mouth, and he actually puts it out, and he goes, "This one requires my full attention. That's true. All right, I'll get something whipped up."
Booyah. Fishguts, you are a really solid guy, and I appreciate all of the energy that you bring to this ship. Keep doing your thing.
Captain, your youthfulness and honesty shouldn't go together, but they do, and it works. It's a little infuriating for those who have been in a modicum of leadership at any point on a ship, but it works, and he actually gives you, this small satyr horns. Not big, just kind of so nobody else could see. He's just
Hey, thanks for all of your appreciation. At least you know how to read a room, because apparently I can't do that. But you have a fun time cooking your food. I have to go do some planning with the Lady of the Rock.
She's quite a woman.
Oh.
And he just goes right back to cooking. That's it.
Can I ask a question for my own interest, my own curiosity?
You can ask.
As Ataraxia left his quarters for the first time in a decent beat, what was the crew response as he was making his way through the ship to did people stare or look? Was he doing his usual finger guns and satyr horns, or you know what I mean? What was the, I guess that may be a Ned question. What was the vibe?
Yeah, so Ataraxia, having had this experience where he was like, hey, I'm really excited about something, I'm going to share it with my council here, and realizing, oh, now isn't actually the moment for that. is not going to try, and he's going to be just very direct, very straightforward. Get down to the kitchen, get the cook a cooking so that we can get some good energy going and get to Lady Smythe. Yes, he is moving with purpose.
Right on.
As you pass by the not dried blood on the baseboards, the floorboards, I should say, with a rag sort of like tossed over it and a little bit of sand tossed over it to kind of soak up a lot of this blood and make it a little bit more stable, not so slippery. Lady Smythe is back in her cell, still handcuffed, and she turns to you and goes, Captain, can we do something about this, eh?
I don't think the lieutenant would be happy with this, but I reach to find my dagger, and I realize, oh wait, I don't have my dagger. I gave it to Buster so he could trim the goat's hooves with it. Oh, there it is. And I look down and I see the dagger with the blood on the blade.
Yeah.
And I pick it up and I go, well, that's cool. And I cut the lady's bonds and say, I want this to be a good sort of partnership between our crews. Knuckles, the captain of the other ship that we just had that altercation with, he's also on board. We've got like a little coalition going on here. I want to trust you and Knuckles. In fact, I do trust you and Knuckles. I feel like the lieutenant would want me to say that I want to trust you, but I do trust you and Knuckles. I think that we've got a good thing going on here.
Well, I certainly want to be on your end. You certainly seem to be able to take care of yourself, having won over free captain Knuckles, which I have heard of Knuckles actually in the
nice.
past. And Inkskin, as she gets like this 1,000-yard stare for a few seconds, as she been able to take care of her as well. Formidable lady with significant ties to the seedier side of captainship. You seem to be somebody that want to keep close and keep friendly, for sure.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why you and Knuckles are still alive and why Inkskin is dead, and that is because I trust you guys. Also, I remember you mentioning that you wanted a husband.
Oh, it was honestly, it was just an easy means for an alliance. As she like raises her hands, sort of like innocently, and I'd be flattered, but like this is beyond even what I could really accept right now, Captain. We couldn't have anything.
Oh yeah, I totally get that. However,
oh my gosh,
we on the same page.
We're definitely on the same page.
That is good.
Yeah,
that is on the up and up.
Yeah,
and I'm happy and proud of that.
Yes. What I'm gonna say for now is, when your dinner gets delivered later, just keep your eye open for the person who's bringing it to you. That aside, so.
Well, now you tickle me intrigued. I will be on the lookout then.
Yeah, booyah, booyah, booyah. Now, as far as business goes, Sir Royster is going to be so upset when we get back to the rock.
Oh, he's going to be livid. Absolutely. He probably has almost destroyed the rock, trying to, just in fury probably, as of right now. And them trying to get that ship out. They can't get it out. It can't leave. But I'm sure they'd be trying to get it out of the cove there. So
yeah. So the thing that we are concerned with, me and the rest of my council, is making sure that by the time we get to Tidewater Rock, we know that we can placate your people sufficiently that they will be okay with our alliance.
Well, I'm alive.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
I've seen a lot of stuff in this time I was supposed to be asleep. I was supposed to be... She looks out the window. I was supposed to be waking up not too long ago. And I was woken up rather abruptly. And I think I could take my experience back to the rock and I can discuss with them. I could tell them I'm in charge of them, and I can just let them know these are the guys that we're dealing with, and we are with them, and that's just gonna be it.
Yeah, that works for me if it works for you.
Now, I believe us talking previously, some of the things, I maintain ownership of the rock, of course.
Of course.
Maybe you leave a few blokes to help out.
Absolutely.
As she puts her hand to her lips and goes, "We're a little bit understaffed, as I'm afraid. I told you that previously."
Yeah, and then Reginald, after that happened, you're even more understaffed. So we'll definitely help you to sort of bulk your crew back up a little bit.
Much appreciated. I mean, I did have an armada not a few months ago, and now I'm just a toot and poor. I hate life just the worst. All right.
Wow, you and I seem to have a lot more in common than I realized.
You just get a point in life, and you say, if you don't laugh, then you're just gonna die. And I'm not ready to do that yet, so I gotta laugh. And then she gets that 1,000-yard stare again for about 5 seconds before she goes, anyhow, yeah, so are we agreeable with that? And anything else you want to discuss?
You know what? Would you like to parley with Captain Knuckles as well and see if you can arrange something with him?
Yes, I would like that. I can, if you'd allow me or to go upon his ship, or if you want him to come here, I mean, we could smoke signal the conversation if that's... How about I just talk to him at Tidewater Rock? That's probably going to be the easiest, because you don't want to let me go, because then I could probably escape, or we could turn and attack you, and that's probably not great, so...
Yeah. I mean, I am youthful, but I've started to pick up some of the vibes from my council that I should be a little bit careful sometimes.
That's one of the defining marks of a captain.
Oh.
Taking wisdom from his crewmates and taking wisdom from his council. So, as she gives you a soft punch on your shoulder, she leans down and goes, "Good on you, mate. Good on you."
You know what? You've been a captain for a lot longer than I have. Do you have any other
I have. I have. Heavy sigh. So heavy sigh.
Oh my gosh. This poor lady.
By the way, guys, she's still in her nightgown. I just want to make it... I feel like we've forgotten.
And she's negotiating with a 13-year-old.
This is a new low.
Next to the blood on the ground, and the
smell of
goats are in the background.
I just imagined when Ned said, like, I think we got something really special going on here. Just a montage of, like, all the bad that's happened to her in the last, like, fall, John Cena again, seeing one of her crewmates just get punched in the face and blood smattering, like, going through a battle tied up in a little buoy, like, just everything. She's like, yeah, it's going great.
She's like, well, we found the floor of this, and there's nothing to go but up from here.
You know what, Lady Smythe? Things can only go up from here.
Alright, I was just having the same thought. Right through my brain, actually. And we do have a good thing going, ain't we? We've similar minds in this moment, I would say.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you have any other advice on how to be a captain, but if you just want to, like, relax, that's also cool.
As she cocks her head and kind of looks up to the left, and like, she goes, learn when to just roll with the punches. You're going to get a lot of them. You're going to be tied up. You're going to be thrown into a dungeon. You're going to have to fight a lion with your bare hands every once in a while. And you know what? You just got to go with it. Because if you don't, as she just taps the side of her brain, you'll go insane. And those that go insane are the ones that die first.
And I imagine that, like, as she taps the side of her head, I see on her arm just, like, these 4 claw marks, these gnarly scars. Okay.
Yeah, they just, like, really old just gash in her arm that is just, like, really dug in. Part of, like, the skin is missing as a result. Like, it just big old flesh was taken out of her. And she goes, so just don't go insane. Just remember that, and you live a long and, well, you live a long life is what I'll say.
You know what? That's some good advice. That's a good wisdom.
All right, do you have anything I can, maybe put on?
Oh.
I mean, I know Sandora and that other lady, they're not one for fashion, but anything at all.
As a bard, I'm pretty sure that I have, like, costumes that I have as part of my equipment.
Yes, you do, actually.
So I reach into my satchel and I pull out just, like, this luxurious, like, velour cloak that's just been folded up in the bottom of my bag this entire time.
Oh, well, ain't that a thing of beauty? That is a sight for sore. And you don't wear this?
I mean, it's not exactly my style.
It's not your size either. I mean, this is a full length of my size. You're just holding on to this for someone special. No, you probably holding out for a disguise. If you are agreeable.
Well, it turns out I've been holding on to it for you. So here you go.
Oh, you're charmer. That's what you are. All right. And she just throws it on. She goes, great. Now I'm not so flippin' freezing.
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to be back to the rock pretty soon. And
are we?
Dinner...
it's taking so long to get back to the rock.
It's all coming up. It's all coming up.
We can only go up from here.
We've hit rock bottom. Tidewater rock bottom.
Oh, man.
Don't you worry. Dinner's going to be on its way. Breakfast is going to be on its way soon.
Oi. We will sort it out once we get to the rock.
I like that.
And so, yeah, she is, she'll talk your ear off if you like, but she is good. She is good to talk through the shock that she's had for the day, but we can pan to breakfast and coming up on lunch, getting to the rock, but go for it.
Yeah, in fact, on my way back to my captain's quarters, because I do still have more work to do writing stuff on the walls there, but on my way, I'm going to just pop into the kitchen real quick and go, hey, fish guts, Lady Smiley personally requested that you bring her food for her.
Oh, she did, eh? Well then.
She likes a charming man, and I give him finger guns. That's a Fleeple move. I give him the satyr horns for encouragement and a bardic inspiration.
Oh, yes!
Oh, and then I make my way back up to the captain's quarters.
Thomas, are we able to get a long rest in before we get to the rock?
Yes. Everybody
really?
can. Yes, it's 8 hours. And you are taking a well-deserved break. Sandora's also going to take a long rest, as there are others on deck that can take over everybody. I forgot you hadn't rested, so hit points, spell slots, all of you can rest and just pass out.
Thank goodness.
Buster has some very positive premonitions
Ooh.
upon awaking.
Ooh. Man, it's like just barely sinking in for me how insane the past 24 hours have been.
Yeah. It's been quite a bit. The dice have been quite interesting, to be certain. While you are resting, though, Sandara is going to interrupt your rest just slightly. No, she's going to wait till the end. She's going to get to Tidewater Rock. She's going to hold off on something. She's going to hold off, actually. She's going to act like she's going to interrupt, but she's going to do the mean where she holds her finger up with her mouth open, and then she just puts it down, and she's going to She's going to say, this can wait. Get to Tidewater Rock. Knuckles is there. And he goes, brother, I hope you were feeling refreshed because I took a nap and now I'm feeling strong as he slams his knuckles together in these metals, just metal gloves that he's got. Just directly, like, they are iron cast into knuckles.
Like Hulk
he
fists?
Can't open them.
Like a couple of Hulk
he
fists?
can't open them at all. He can't open them. They are just knuckles. And he's like, yeah! So if he ever, like, jumps or falls, he cannot catch himself. And so you go up to Tidewater Rock, and their ship is actually adrift. It is just, like, it's, like, floating, and you just hear, like, shouting from the ship. Like, you fools! Get this in motion, my lady needs
We
it!
should get Lady Smiley up here post
My
haste.
lady...
None of them have slept for 24 hours. They're all suffering from 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah. Yeah. Multiple, I'm sure, actually.
Shoot the ballista! Oh gosh. Well. No, it's just yelling fire, shoot the ballista, get them, I want their heads, I want pikes. The rest of the crew is just like exhausted.
Not heads on pikes. Oh, pikes on heads.
Pikes on heads. There we go. And they're exhausted, and Lady Smiley, she goes to the front, almost Titanic-like, and she throws her arms out and yells, and goes, I live! It's all right! I'm coming! Don't worry! Woohoo!
With the cloak billowing in the wind.
And she goes, Sir Royster, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
With her handkerchief.
It's all right. Yeah, it's just like
Buster leans over to Ignis. I assume she's near the helm, and he goes, I don't know why, but in my head, this was going to look more triumphant.
We're led by a 13-year-old satyr, and she's in a nightdress. Why did you think that was going to happen?
It's the rock. Everybody's always talking about how great it would be to break the rock. I just thought it would be more epic. But all right.
and you can see one of the fields the field that you had your battle as you're passing by is thoroughly burned and just destroyed. So
Why?
I believe there was a fire that was set up there, wasn't there?
Did we set a fire?
No, we didn't set a
No,
fire.
nobody set a fire.
Well, it's
Unless
still
the
burned.
braziers
Royster
are fire.
burning
I
cross.
talked about it, but I never did anything.
No, we didn't set the fire.
That's right, you did. Well,
Sir
it's
Royster,
talked about
in
it.
his rage, was just like,
No, it was the alchemist fire.
these.
Wasn't there an alchemist
It was
fire?
him. It
That's
was
right.
him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was on the bottom of the cliff. It wasn't the field. It was down at the bottom of the cliffs.
Okay,
Well,
It's been
it's still
so
burned.
long since we recorded that episode.
here's the deal.
So much
God.
has
It's been a
happened
full
today.
12, 18 hours since that happened. Oh, man.
Buster is now entering a deep depression. I think he's starting to understand that his time aboard the Rock will not be spent teaching sailors how to navigate. He's going to have to fix their crop problem.
Which, right at this time,
Wait,
Buster,
are you saying that it burnt the crops?
Yes, it did. It did.
But it
burn
was on the
crops.
bottom
So
of a
it crept up.
30-foot rocky cliff. There was nothing
Yep,
for
it
it
sure
to scale.
was. It sure was.
Don't question
I'd
Sir
say,
Royster. Sir Royster is
nothing more
insane.
This was the side of the rock, and we were on the beach where it was.
Buster, at this point, a hand, you feel a pat, and Sandara there, with one hand on the hilt of her, just kind of like resting on the hilt of her blade, the other on your shoulder, she goes, you did a bit of damage there, didn't you?
It wasn't me. I didn't do any fire.
The burning of the crops.
Sure it was. And Buster, you actually feel this through your heart and through your stomach, just from your feet all the way through your ears, as she goes, well, perhaps that'll help you a little bit, Sonny.
Oh,
First reversed.
okay. Wow.
And remove curse was just cast upon you.
There you go.
All right, Sandara, I understand your value now.
And she just tips her tricorn hat to you, and she goes, "Appreciate it, love."
Whoa. Okay, and Buster just realizes he was making a whole plan for while everybody was off on the rock, tearing the captain's quarters apart.
And you're gone with that plan,
Done.
right?
Done. Completely done. I'm done. Yeah.
And as you get to Tidewater, as you pull in, it's a sorry sight, Sir Royster. He is his shirt. He does not have a shirt on right now. His mustache is frayed. He is wild eyes, and he is a shell of a man, of the royal man, the honorable man that you met, fought, and defeated, and left laughing in madness upon the beach side.
It was dark. It was a dark hour for the rock.
It was, and the many hours after that were very dark as well. And so Lady Smythe goes over to the ship, and she consoles Sir Royster by patting his shoulder and goes, "Oh, it's all right, love. We'll be good. Hey, allow me to introduce you to the new leaders, the ones who broke Tidewater Rock, all right? And you know what? It's not all bad." As she, boops his nose, she goes, we got ourselves an alliance here. With Sir Captain Ataraxia, as she gestures with her hand over to you, Ataraxia.
Hey, that's me, everybody. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Everyone, this is Sir Captain Ataraxia. Not Sir Captain, Free Captain. Free Captain. Do you want to be it? You have to earn it, sir. Sorry. Free Captain Ataraxia here. And he is the one who broke Tidewater Rock. I want everyone here to know he is the one, and his crew, who broke Tidewater Rock. It has been broken, but we will still live here. We are aligning ourselves with them. Under him, I know it's truthful, but folks, we got 12 people here in this fortress with no armada here. This is probably the best situation we could ever be in here. And we are to raise his infamy, and actually, he's an enemy of Harrigan's as well. So we have a strong ally here. But let's not forget Sir Knuckles, and you just hear a brother. Yep. Hey, Sir Knuckles over there. Sorry, not Sir. Free Captain Knuckles.
You have to earn the sir.
You gotta earn the sir.
Sir Royster this entire time is just bristling with indignation.
His chest hairs are like
anybody, sir.
His chest hairs go on end, and then they go back down, and then they go on in again, and then they go down. Free Captain Knuckles over there. He is. We're gonna start negotiating as well. Actually, he is. He's free to do as he will, but let's invite him on island here. See if we can get an alliance with here, and the three of us have a coalition. Them two, they're already savvy. They're already good. They're sweet. They're good. They're savvy. And Knuckles owes him one, but us and Knuckles, we could probably come to an accommodation or something like that. Sir Ataraxia, whose men you want to leave behind?
You know what? Let me confer with my council real quick, and we will get together a group of people to leave with you, and Captain Knuckles as well. I don't know if he would be interested in doing the same, but maybe he can do that for you. Who knows? That's between you and him.
Knuckles gives a salute, and he actually starts going into the cove like he's anchoring and going to be going to Tidewater Rock. Conversations will develop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now I turn to my council and I say, all right, we want to make sure that we leave them with people who are going to be able to be capable enough to, keep this place from getting taken by somebody else. There's part of me that's like, Ignis, I know you dislike a lot of people on this ship, so this could be a good opportunity for you to rid yourself of some annoyance.
Pardon me. Sorry, that's the wrong accent. Oi, Captain, Sandara says. If I may.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive me, I'm sure you all are considering it. This might be a good opportunity for a few days to stay here and give the crew a little bit of time to grieve and to assist and maybe take a little downtime, play a little footy up in the fields up there and get their feet on some solid land just for a day or two.
Yeah, I'm sure that everybody here on the ship would be so happy to have their feet on dry terra firma for a little bit.
Buster kind of shivers a little bit at all the feet.
And Ignis hates it when she agrees with Sandara.
I think I could probably help with the crops if we've got a few days to recover what has been ruined. I had a premonition this morning that I would be doing something I'm very good at. I did not realize it would be this, but,
Well, should I go tell the crew then?
Yeah, we'll chill. We'll get ourselves ingratiated with the crews of Captain Smythe and Captain Knuckles, and we'll have a bonding experience.
ooh, tell Fish Guts to make use of whatever kind of kitchens they have here. They probably got a big one.
Yes. Fish Guts. Good point. I'm going to go talk to Fish Guts about some stuff.
I was just going to say real quick, while we're all still here together, Captain, on the point of who we should stay and go, and he looks at Ignis, like, already making a list of who she wants to eject. If your plan after this is what, he kind of points at Max. I don't know, for some reason he felt like it was like the two of them were excited about it, so he's just, whatever the plan is next for us to do, maybe a way we figure out who comes with is by telling the crew what our next plan is and seeing who wants to come along.
Very democratic.
I just also understand what it's like to be forced into piratry, and I don't know, some people may want to stay here and not keep pirating.
Hey, man, I think that is a very, very good suggestion. And I prestidigitation a gold star onto your scarf.
Thank you, Captain.
So, with that in mind, we will go ashore. I know there's some like vignettes that maybe we want to do here, but Buster, if you want, you can go ahead and roll a agriculture check here to try and help with the farming.
He doesn't have to roll, Thomas. He doesn't have to roll. He had a 19 divination.
Okay.
Ooh.
There we go.
So, what would have been the roll? What was the
I imagine nature or something.
nature or something? So that would be a +3.
Or
so,
if you're proficient with like some farming tools, that would be
22.
that too. So, 22. You go up there and you're like,
I take the goats off ship, by the way. They are now on the rock.
oh, good call.
No, they can actually.
Yeah.
This is actually would be a not bad place for them to kid and kind of create a little herd. So, yeah, he's just gonna start.
Yes, get those goats off of my ship!
I was expecting a response from Mickey. I was like, "What's going on?" Yeah. So
It took a second for it to like register what you were saying.
You'll leave like one
Yeah, so
goat
he's-
though on the ship, and occasionally we'll just hear like a and Ignis is like it's always
no,
running
his
behind her.
his plan will be to kind of begin to architect like a very good ecosystem of plant and animal here. That he has got to recover what was burnt, like what's salvageable from that, but also take what's burnt and use it as in the best ways it can be used for actually like helping new things grow. So he's going to be sifting through all of that and giving orders to crew members. Actually, probably working with Sir Royster a little bit because he seemed to understand the cycle of the crops pretty well.
Yeah, when he was talking before.
He did. He did. And as you go up to the farm, you look at the with your knowledge, you're like, this was an alchemist fire. Alchemist fire. And you kind of look at Sir Royster, and you look at the shed. The shed is mostly burnt, and you see a lantern that has fallen over. And Sir Royster's like, I did not take it well when my lady was kidnapped. As he is puffing out his chest with a sharp uniform now on, and you go, okay.
You know, sometimes the best thing is having something to do. Oyster, old my boy. So you're gonna be digging paths. Get that frustration out.
Fine. As he grabs a hoe and he just starts moving the dirt, digging up some paths, and making some trench there for the garden. And you help him out. You make significant progress. You clear out a lot. You're actually able to salvage some of the... You're like, oh, this could be used in tonight's meal. It's not burnt, it's not destroyed, and it's good. So, and then you actually share a lot of tips with Sir Royston, and he becomes more agreeable with you and actually like warms up a little, despite having just been hostily taken over. And he's like, oh, so you're saying that we could infuse, we could do like a rotation of the crop instead of the same thing over and over.
Yeah, you can't just plant the same thing every single season of the year. You have to shift it.
We've been having such diminishing returns. This makes sense.
Yeah. So you also have to understand where the sun's going to be hitting, and the areas that have too much shade. You got to treat them differently. So,
and these over here, they constantly get burnt. Well, all right. I will still curse your name for kidnapping my lady, but this has been very educational.
I mean, all I really did was blow her off the side of a cliff. I didn't really,
That's not helpful.
He bristles and he goes, I have to go dig a trench right now. Great. Ned or Ataraxia, you said you wanted a vignette with fish guts, right?
Yeah, I just go back to chat with him, and I relay what Buster said. Hey, I'm sure they've got a much larger kitchen here than what we've typically got here on the ship, so this is a good opportunity to flex those cooking muscles. Also, how are things with Lady Smythe?
Well, I took her a meal, and she ate like a woman.
What's happening? What's happening?
She ate like a woman.
Sounds like it went good.
Folks, I have no idea where that came from. Okay.
Fish guts is where it came from.
She ate like a woman.
Okay, sorry. Recovering. I'm just staring at Mickey right now, and I can't recover.
There's just so many things that can be inferred upon both that sentence and the way it was said.
And
Oh my
it was
god.
even just the pot. She ate like a woman.
Okay. All right.
What?
Sorry. All right.
Honestly, after Agatha Smiley said, "Tickle me intrigued," I feel like the two of them are made for each other.
All right. Yeah, Captain, I'll get to their kitchens. I'll get things going. And he just starts to get like beet red. His nose is getting like really red too. He's like, I'll bring and he grabs like a jar that you haven't seen him use before, and he like opens it, takes out, and like a few flakes fall out. And he goes, okay. He slams it down, and he just goes, I'll be on that. Okay. And he just goes off to the rock without answering any more questions.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that was all I had.
As conversations happen through the night, there is a nice meal, but it is topped off with a drink that Fish Guts brings to Lady Smiley personally. And she like kind of sniffs it, and she like dips her finger in it, and it's kind of like a little thick. And she goes, like, tastes it. She goes, "Oh, is this cocoa?"
Yeah, this is a little something I've been working on. Now that we've got the milk, and you have actual chilled butter that we can use, and I call it cocoa milk, and you gotta threw something a little special in there for you. And she goes, "Oh, all right." And she just takes it and gets this big old milk mustache
on her lip. But as the night goes on, conversations with Free Captain Knuckles actually go quite well, and they do strike an alliance with each other. In fact, he's going to leave a few of his crew on the island as well to solidify that alliance and to continue this coalition. They really are like, hey, this coalition
that'll toughen up the
thing.
rock. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so if Harrigan does come, they know that they've got some people, and Knuckles is actually going to stay for not so long, but an extended time in case Harrigan does show up. And so that is something that they are going to be doing. But the next day or two passes at Tidewater Rock with you sleeping on the ship, but then coming on to shore every once in a while to either continue conversations, to take some time off, to climb a tree, to play a little footy, and to just relax. But after the 2 days are up, Ataraxia, you and your council here must decide who you are leaving behind, if they are all not named NPCs or if there are a few NPCs you'll be leaving behind on the ship, from the ship as well.
Yeah, I think, it's just so convenient how all of the NPCs who didn't want to come on this Fey adventure with us are the same NPCs that Ignis was annoyed by.
There we go.
Isn't that weird how that works out that way? For sure.
Yeah.
Except for Sandara, for some reason. She's the only one that...
Sandara is so gung-ho about going to the Fae.
Yeah, she wants to.
Honestly, as much as Ignis detests Zendara, she does recognize her
utility.
That she's important to the crew. Her
usefulness.
utility, that's a great word to use. Her utility and her necessity for being on the ship, especially having another healer in case Buster gets cursed again. She has ranged magic that Ignis is confused about and does not have. And so Ignis would vote to keep Zendara on the ship. Fishguts should probably also stay on the ship because a cook is important to have.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Outside of that, she doesn't know any NPCs, and she does not care.
Ed does not care.
I think she would make a petition for some of Lady Smythe's more seasoned crew members to come with us. Maybe even a swap with Knuckles.
Yes.
In the
I would
idea
like Knuckles'
of
crew,
some
yeah.
of our crew getting trained by Knuckles' crew. And so
Yes.
a healthy rotation she would be in favor of. But Zendara is one that she begrudgingly knows we probably need to keep on our ship.
Well, we will add a few to the Satyr song then from Knuckles' crew or from the Rock. Not many, probably no more than 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
You're thinking
probably.
3 or 4 that can help out.
I do think if Fishguts would like to stay longer, I think it would make sense for us to be like, hey, we're gonna go on this next mission with the intent of coming back to the Rock, like kind of making it like a return point where we can go we're gonna swap some crew, do some training, go on a mission, come back, re-swap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could get, if they have a cook, we could switch it out.
Or Tidewater Rock. Yeah, they're cooked.
If that makes sense. We can still take Fishguts. I was just thinking if he and the lady are kicking it off, that would be a strong, you know what I mean, a way to bolster that alliance.
But then how will we get any of the sappy love letters and the whole love triangle side story quest that is brewing, obviously?
Here's the thing. Ataraxia knows sending. He can help facilitate this.
All right.
That's true.
Hey, Lady Smiley,
I'm just kidding.
I'm here
I
again.
agree with you. I'm just being obnoxious.
Here again with some of Fishguts' love
I just
notes.
I feel like the Rock is a good what's the word for it?
Base?
Yeah, kind
Home
of. I
base.
mean, it's well
Well,
defended.
isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, and I also think Buster would want to check on all the work they did with the crops to make sure that it's being maintained well and whatnot. And so yeah, I mean, if Harrigan's goal was to destroy this place, making sure that it's sustainable would be a good way to thwart whatever he's trying to do.
Awesome. Well, as these 3 unknown NPCs as of right now.
I can give them names if you would like names from Knuckles' crew.
Let's do it.
No, here we go.
Let's do it. From
Yeah.
Knuckles' crew. Here
From
we
Knuckles'
go.
These
crew.
are
Oh
gonna be
my
Sonic
gosh.
names.
Yes, they are.
Vector the Chameleon, Vector the Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, and Charmy Bee. We got a couple of lizard folk and a bee folk, I suppose, perhaps a fairy of some kind. Charmy Bee, yes.
A bee folk.
Maybe.
A fey person. That would make sense
Yeah.
for our next adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Can Charmy Bee be a bugbear?
How about a shapeshifter?
Ooh,
Who
that
can
works
turn
for me.
into like a bee-like person. There we
Yes. Any of our listeners who understand this reference, good. I'm sure you're loving this.
100%.
go. Well, as we sail off away from Tidewater Rock to go and start this next leg of the adventure to find Ataraxia's mom, that is where we're going to end this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to level you all up.
It's really
I know we just leveled up not too long ago, but
No, we didn't.
That was a
like 6
saga.
episodes ago.
There we go. It was 18 hours
1,
ago you
2,
leveled up.
3,
Thank you.
4, 5. You're right. It is 6 episodes, including this one. It's 7. So the whole episode is 7.
Yeah.
You leveled up right as Tidewater Rock. You left with Lady Smythe.
But hey,
Oh man.
there's a gift horse here, and I'm not going to be looking at its chompers.
There we go. All right. Hey, look at us.
Hey, look at that.
So, what's everybody's level that they're going to taking? Is everybody feeling like they're going to just keep going in their class? And if so, let's roll those dice or take the half and get our hit points for our listeners here. So, we'll start with Ned.
I am taking a level in Bard, and I'll go
Figures.
ahead and roll for it this time. Why not? That is a 6 on a D8.
Ooh, well done. That's pretty good.
Feeling good about that, yeah.
Total HP then?
Total HP, that brings me up to 49.
Nice. All right. We are going to go to Jacob.
I'm going to take another level in Ranger.
Nice.
And I'm going to roll, as I always do, a D10. I'm going to use these new dice that
Yes, your LEDs.
I got. Yeah, I got some LED lights.
They flash.
So they flash when you roll them. Okay, here we go. It's a 7.
Whoa.
Nice.
That's
7
good.
plus Constitution, so
Yep.
sweet.
So your total HP is
52.
52. More than Ataraxia now. All right, Josh.
All right, I will roll a d6.
Doing wizard then, huh?
I got a 6.
Hey!
That puts me at
Whoa!
46 because of my constitution getting better as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
there
your
you
Constitution's back.
go. Yeah.
That feels good.
And then finally, Mickey.
I'm taking my 7th level as an Echo Knight, staying as a fighter. I do the half, which is half a D10 is 5 plus 1 is 6 plus my 2 Constitution is 8. So now I'm at 60 hit points. But I'm really excited about it because I get my Echo Avatar and I'm so excited. Echo Avatar, as an action, I can see through my Echo's eyes and hear through its ears for 10 minutes. And it can be up to 1,000 feet away from me without being destroyed.
It's legit.
Yeah.
Functions basically like my Find Familiar did last campaign.
Level 7, I get a special Monster Slayer thing. I now, whenever the target of my Slayer's prey makes me do a saving throw, or I can escape its grapple, I add a D6 to my saving throw.
Nice.
Very nice. Very good. Well, we will dive in more into our level 7 abilities next time on I Cast Fireball. Maggie, Jacob, Josh, Ned, thank you so much for playing. Listeners, thank you for listening. You are a delight. Even though we don't hear you while we're recording, we are thinking of you while we record. And all of the emails, interactions that we get, it just buoys us up, and it's just a delight. So thank you so much for your constant support. Speaking of support, we want to shout out a few people that reached out to us. This first one is through email. This is Crimson Drake, and they actually reached out for podcast information. Sounds like Crimson might be wanting to journey out and start their own podcast, or at least just start it out. They said, praise to the ICF team. They've been enamored with our ability to tell an incredible story and the compatibility between the whole party, and inspired them to make a D&D podcast, which I think is amazing. That's how we felt about Sneak Attack. We wanted to do that, and here we are. We hope that we can help you with any information that you need, Crimson. We've already answered what sort of like material or microphones that we've used, but I think we're going to come up with like a succinct way for people to reference in like an FAQ, right? Is kind of what we've been talking about, but it should be in one of the most recent Word of Recalls, maybe either that or the one just prior to that, right? Lastly, we want to shout out Paul, who left I believe this is a message, either through email, but he said, I did D&D but can never find a good group, so they kind of drifted away, but then listened, and they are back. And they binged the first season and almost on 2. You guys rock. Keep it up. Paul, thank you. You rock. We appreciate you listening and binging. If you want to get shouted out, shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com, or the best way to get in touch with us on the daily basis is in our Patreon exclusive Discord, where for $5 a month you can join and you can go through all of the conspiracy theories, all the spoiler tags that have been going on, or just chat with the DM about anything Crunch Squad related, Mike related, things like that. So don't forget to check that out. Now, we want to shout out Improv Tabletop, where they have amazing 1-month adventures going on. Sometimes those 1-month adventures are a little bit longer. They're a longer form campaign, but they use a variety of tabletop systems. But they are always fun, they are always improv, and they are always heartfelt. So go give them a listen, and don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon,
Maximus Shans,
Ataraxia Kalian,
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.